All right, good day. Welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you back. Those that have been with us since the beginning, hey, thanks for sticking for the ride. Those that have been newly subscribed to us in the last little bit, hope you're enjoying the ride as well. Lots going on. Obviously took the LJ out for the first trip on the road. I'll do a recap of that. And then we've got the blue kind of refresh going on. So, but before I jump into all that, I want to take a quick second and thank our sponsor, my wallet. It graciously opens itself up to me each week and provides me with monetary stuff to purchase Jeep parts and keep this little hobby going. Or is it an addiction? We're not sure, but I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. But it definitely keeps me busy and keeps me out of trouble. So if you want to support our sponsor, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, put a little notification bell on so you can hear me talk to you each week. It definitely helps us out, and there's no obligation. We're not going to come to your house and knock on your door or raise your garden or anything like that. It's completely free. All right. So with that, let's get to today's topic. Gear ratio versus tire size. And before you switch off and, here we go, I'm going to try and make this as simple as I possibly can, because I don't even understand all of it. There's a whole bunch of materials out there, and I'm going to put some links to some stuff that I found that have some nice charts colored, if you're into that sort of stuff, as well as some forum links with people having discussions and kind of their opinions and their experience with it as well. So hopefully it'll help you all out. It definitely steered me in the right path. So let's get after it. I want to start with my Jeep, the one outside there. That's my daily driver, the 98 with the 6-cylinder, 4-liter. It's got a BDS 2-inch lift on it with the NX shocks, the NX2s. So it's a really budget lift. It's about $500 all in for the springs and the shocks. It does have little risers on the front for the rake because it's got a winch and everything on it, so that extra weight that just helps keep it level. It's sitting on 31 by 10.5 by 15 Firestone Destination tires, the balloon tires. And it honestly, it does really, really well. It's got the 3.7/3 gear ratio in the back on a Dana 44 and a Dana 30 on the front. As far as urban versus off-road, it's a great mix for me. The trails that we go down, you've seen some highlights in some of the other videos, the creeks and the hills, and we don't rock crawl. Rock crawling is a whole different ball game, and that rig would not survive at all. So I don't even think it could enter any of those trails. But for the urban and the light off-road, difficulty of maybe a 3 moderate trail, it definitely does the trick. So that's that guy. The LJ, one thing I forgot to mention, it's got the 5-speed manual transmission in it, and that makes a difference. So that's important to remember. This one has the same gear ratio, same axle, everything as mine. It's got the 3.7/3 Dana 44, Dana 30 in the front, but this has the 4-speed automatic in it. And the reason why that matters is because of the torque converter and your shift points. The shift points in these are not adjustable from what I have found. I've never found anybody that's been able to go in to the PCM or the TCM and adjust shift points on the RPM scale. With the manual transmission, you can do it all day long. You can kind of pick what the Jeep's doing and shift kind of at your leisure. You just put tape over the stupid shift light. But this one will shift kind of on its own. And the struggle with that is this has 32-inch or very close. They're a 265/75 R16, which equates to about 31.6 inches. So, kind of a little middle ground. But with that 4-speed transmission, when it gets up to 64, 65 miles an hour and it clicks into 4th gear, the RPMs drop all the way down to about 2,000, which is really, really low. the engine starts to bog at around 1600, 1500. So you're getting down into that kind of range. Now, any headwind, any kind of grade, you're going to constantly be downshifting. So the transmission, I noticed, I was constantly shifting between third and fourth. Trying to do 70 miles an hour, which was the speed limit on a lot of those highways, I was pretty much in third gear the whole time. I would have to baby it to get it to go into fourth to get that overdrive. But as soon as I even touched the gas pedal a little bit, it would automatically gear down. So it's a struggle. Couple options. One, maybe I go to a 31-inch tire. Give me a little more wiggle room. It's not going to change a whole bunch. Or we go to the next step, which is a re-gear. And you'll hear this a lot in the Jeep world, is everybody talking about re-gearing the Jeeps. And that's always because of tire size. That's the only reason why everybody's doing it. So this one with the 373s, it's struggling. I'd maybe go to a 411 gear. But in the Dana 44, I haven't seen one. I think that would be like more of a custom gear. Or I go to a 513 gear set and then go to even a bigger tire. Then that would open it up to like a 33 and a 35 inch. Once you go into the 500 series, you can go to a way bigger tire. So that's definitely something that we're kind of thinking about, but I'm not going to do anything with it yet. This thing's not going to be going on long road trips. We're going to be driving it, down to Galveston, Surfside, maybe Crystal Beach, and probably Creekside Adventure Park, just to kind of mess around a little bit. And then other than that, it's bombing around town. So I think for now, we're just going to leave it and enjoy it. And then that brings us to this guy, Blue. This is the one that we introduced last week. And the reason why I'm exploring all of this. I kind of hinted at it, Tanya even did. Hey, let's, give it some ground clearance, maybe put some bigger tires on it. So I pulled the build sheet because I wanted to see what the gear ratio was. I just couldn't remember. And unfortunately, it's got the Dana 35 and the Dana 30 with 307 gears in the back. And even worse, it's got the 3-speed automatic. So it's kind of the worst of all worlds. It's a perfect storm of not good. It's got 30 inch by 9.5 by 15 tires on it right now with no lift. It's factory. And it drives really well. Bombing around town here, it does good. It's a little stiff. It's got the Rancho series shocks in it. They are adjustable. I've just never adjusted them to kind of soften the ride up a little bit. But it can get to 70 miles an hour, 2,400 RPM. It's getting a little lower, but it's still doing great. I just, you want to, first thing that everybody does when they buy Jeeps is lift it. So I'm exploring those options now. Now, I have a spare set of tires over there that you've seen in all the other videos. Those ones they're a 265/75 R15. So they're basically the same as these tires, except they're a road tire, a winter tire. So they'll probably ride a little bit different in the sense that they're a passenger tire versus a balloon tire. So, maybe we throw those on with a budget BDS 2-inch lift with the NX2 shocks. Maybe we take that for a whirl and see what this guy does with the 307 gears. I mean, there's nothing that says that you can't put bigger tires on these Jeeps. You can always put bigger tires. I can put 40s on here. It's just not going to drive the same. I'm not going to have the gear, the speed versus gear that you would have on a stock rig. I probably would never see third gear if I put 40-inch tires. Either that or I just snap the differential. I'm going to go with snap the differential because these are a 27 spline axle. They're not going to take that torque. So this is what we're up against. And I don't want to ramble on and kind of waste your time. So going forward, I have all the parts. I bought the torque box repair kit for the middle and the rear. The front ones are fine. So I'm just going to, put that patch kit on there. And I did buy a frame sleeve for that trailing arm section. I'm still deciding on what we're going to do there, because to put that on, I have to cut like 2/3 of the frame out and then weld that on and then put the trailing arm back on and all that stuff. And it doesn't give me any future options. Whereas if we cut away the rusted parts and kind of, patch it and weld it, it buys us another step later down the road if it goes again. So I'm still debating on what we're going to do there. It's really going to depend on how bad it is when I tear into it. So these are the roads that we're exploring, but definitely stick around for the ride. This is going to be a short one this week. I'll let you guys go enjoy the weekend, but thanks for sticking with us. All right, we'll see you on the next one.